Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda, the second quest. And when we last left off, Jasmine had just entered level 4, and she can experience Dark Rooms for the first time in this quest. Dark Rooms were also first introduced in the first quest in level 4, so little throwback there. We would have also encountered red bubbles and blue bubbles for the first time if we didn't dive into level 6 there in the last episode. We saw some red bubbles on the room to the right. We just jumped into that room real quick just to show it off in our last episode. Now it's time to dive deeper into level 4 here. So we have a splitting dig dogger here, a 3-split dig dogger. And we can just freeze them all with the boomerang. And take care of them and open the door to the left. And that room right there is just a bunch of blue bubbles, so if you get hit by one of those red bubbles on the room to the south of there, well, you can just heal yourself up right there. So, here we run into the bulk of the type of enemies we'll be meeting in this dungeon, the Pole's Voices, and Darknuts. The Pole's Voices are going to be a little bit of trouble because we don't have the bow and arrow yet. We have the arrow, but the bow isn't available until level 5. And we can't go out of order to get the bow, because in order to get the bow, you need to have the raft, and we ain't gonna get the raft until the end of this dungeon. So the raft is kind of a tricky item to pick up. They pull a little trick on you in this dungeon when it comes to the raft, and we'll see that when we get to the end of the dungeon. But they're pulling a bunch of little tricks here out on us in the second quest. So always annoying when you have to fight enemies with red and blue bubbles, because you're, in addition to avoiding the enemies, you're also trying to avoid the bubbles. It's especially annoying when you're fighting enemies that you basically need the sword to defeat. You can defeat these guys with the wand or with bombs, but we have limited bombs and we don't have the wand yet. So now it might be okay to use our bombs right here, because, like I said, we are going to buy a bomb bag upgrade in this dungeon. And it's not too far from here, so it might be a good time to use your bombs. But, I saved them, so. Yeah, whenever you buy a bomb bag upgrade, they will fill your bombs to the max. So, when we get the bomb bag, it'll take our bombs up to 12. Just like the first quest, there are 2 bomb bag upgrades in total in this quest, in each quest, so we can have a max of 16. So, and the bombs will be in the room to the north of here, but this room right here is going to contain our first item, dungeon item, and it will be the magical book. So yeah, in both quests, the dungeon that had the magical book had 2 items in it. So, in the first quest, we had the magical book and the magical key in dungeon number 8. And in this quest, we're going to have the magic book and the raft in the same dungeon. So, I think with the raft and the magic book here, they, like I said, for the most part, each dungeon only has 1 item. So maybe they were like trying to trick you into thinking, okay, I already got the book here, so I got the item for this thing. Because you're going to see the position of the raft is unique. So, but it took a wrong turn here, but luckily Aquamentuses don't respawn. The only boss monster that respawns is the Dodongos. So, pick up our bomb bag, and we're back to we're up to 12 bombs now. Take out some Darknuts here, finish these guys off. They're a good source for bombs. And just speaking of good source for bombs, we got a bomb drop, and we have another bomb drop from the defeating them all. Bonk. Uh-oh. This would be a good room to use bombs in. Bombs have the same attack power as the magical sword, so we'd only need 2 bombs to defeat the blue Darknuts as opposed to 4 white sword swings. So, we want that fairy. Woohoo! Alright, full life. Now we can pick off these guys. It's a good thing they don't learn how to throw their swords like the Stalfos and the Lionels do. So, in some Zelda Classic quests, there's like super dark nuts. There's actually a bunch of different type of dark nuts. There's splitting ones that they're black, and when you defeat them, they split into two blues. And then those other ones that are like really, really fast, and they actually will throw swords. So we'll eventually get into Zelda Classic quests eventually, but we have a whole bunch of other games to go through first. So I don't know how some of these people who well, I guess they don't have a full-time job, but, you know, there's, like, professional streamers on Twitch who just play games all day. But, no, can't do that. I have a job. But, I guess, though, unfortunately, a lot of those people, you see that they, it's not necessarily maybe as glamorous a life as you think for some folks, because a lot of them set up, like, GoFundMe accounts when something bad happens. So it's like they may necessarily be able to afford their bills, because it's... I guess it could be a volatile market, you know? It's not like a steady paycheck every 2 weeks. I guess it depends on your ad revenue and subscribers and stuff like that, so... For those people who make it doing that, you know, congratulations, you know? Follow your passion, and that's what it is, and you can make a living out of it. Congrats. So... But... Boink! Jasmine here, she's making her living as a professional hero. So, let's take out these guys here. These guys, when we defeat them all, will drop the map. And once again, we're going to continue the trend of having letter dungeons. So, this is going to be the letter D. So, fairy. Fairies give 3 hearts. We won't be able to capture fairies until the Zelda 3. And then we'd have a net we can put fairies in and save them for future use, but not in this game, but that's okay. We have the medicine for future use, heart healing. So, let's take care of these guys. The fish enemies, the fish statues can be kind of annoying. Well, one's a fish, one's a dragon. We'll take these guys out. Almost there, and we got the map. There he is, letter D. D is for dungeon. This is actually one of the bigger dungeons in the game, so we won't be pulling 2 dungeons in this episode like we have in a few videos. Well, the one video where we did dungeons 1 and 2. So, and here's one of the reasons why I wanted the raft. As you can see, we had I'll light this room up, but as you can see, there was a little square where we used the raft. Or we used not the raft, the step ladder to get across. There's a key that appeared across that river, and if we didn't have the ladder, you know, when we were going for 100%, we'd have to come back into this dungeon. And like I said, I didn't want to do all that backtracking, because the backtracking is not going to just be limited to this dungeon, but also dungeon 5. There'll be a similar situation where there's a key that we have to go into. So we can use ladder. Also helps us in rooms like this, where we can just avoid the bubbles because they can't travel over the water, and we can just pick off the dark nuts there. We're just heading back down in this room here just to fill out our map. And let's see what this room looks like. One of these squiggly rooms. Alright, let's head on up. We got another room up to the north here to go in through. Just avoid the red bubbles, sneak through, and we're in. If you go in the direction of the arrow. Okay. That might be a clue to where the Master Sword is. So here's that other trap room. I said the reason why you want to have at least 150 rupees. Because the 100 for the bomb bag upgrade, and then 50 to get through that guy. So we can push that block there, and we get a little secret passage. This is going to take us toward the Triforce. You might be thinking, to the Triforce? We haven't gotten the raft yet. Well, pay close attention to the D, the way that it looks. So, there's some rooms actually above where the Triforce is. So yeah, there's actually, we're gonna go into the Triforce room, and there's gonna be rooms beyond the Triforce room. So you might be tempted, oh, I'm gonna grab the Triforce, but then you'd have to backtrack through the entire dungeon again to get to those rooms. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass up the Triforce, and then once we pass the Triforce, then we're gonna get the raft, and then turn around and grab the Triforce. So now we could fight these guys. We can use that old trick where we lay a bomb down, then blow the recorder, and then the bomb will hit, and then you can quick lay down a second bomb, and you can take out these guys without them running around the room. But I decided to do things the hard way. So we could get the Triforce there, but like I said, then we missed out on the raft. And I guess they put that magic book there on purpose to make you think, oh, I already got the item. There's no need to go any further. But we want to walk through the wall behind the Triforce. And we got a few more rooms to go here before we get to the raft. So, take out these guys. We want to make sure we have some bombs. There we go. Because we have some Dodongos here to take care of. Let's use that trick where we use the bomb, and then while it's eating the first bomb, we can put a second bomb down and kind of stun it. And then once it's stunned, we can stab it, and a stunned Dodongo will always drop a bomb. We kind of messed up there a little bit because they were all grouped together, but we managed to take them out. So now the door to the right will take us to the room where we got the map. So we don't want to go there. We want to go back to get to the Triforce. But first, we want to defeat all these guys here. And they're being nice. They're kind of hanging up there. As you can see, you can stab up through the blocks, because when your character, Jasmine in this case, when she touches the bottom of the block, she kind of forces her way into the block a little bit. And that way, when you stab with your sword, it actually will go through the block, and it can hit enemies on the other side of the block. It doesn't work from the top, though, because you don't push into the block from the top. But it's a good way to take care of enemies while being safe yourself, stabbing them through the block. So use the terrain to your advantage, because you're definitely outnumbered in this game. So, but now that we have the raft, we can head over to back to the Triforce room, grab the Triforce, and then we're 50% complete. Half the Triforce is restored. And we're up to 11 hearts, and we have the raft, which means that we can now get the 12th heart over on the western, on the eastern shoreline. So we'll blow our whistle, and we can get back to where level 2 was in the initial thing. Remember what I said? When you blow the whistle in this game, it takes you back to the locations of the dungeon in the first quest. So, we warped to level 1 last time, so all we have to do is face to the right and blow the whistle, and it'll take us to level 2. In this case, it was level 3 in this quest, but it's close enough to where we want to go. So we want to head back to that little raft dock on the eastern river here, on the far east of the map. We can cross the bridge, or we can cross the river, and then we can get our 12th heart container, which means we will now have the amount of hearts needed to wield the magical sword. And you can bet that we are definitely going to grab that magical sword. So, because it'll definitely come in handy for level 5. Level 5 is going to be a little bit different than level 5 in the first quest. It's going to introduce, it's going to have a bunch of Wizrobes in it. So, Wizrobes, we didn't see them until level 6. We'll see a lot of them in level 6 in this quest too, but they make their first appearance coming here in level 5, so magic sword makes them so much easier to deal with. So now we had that one clue from the old man saying, you know, follow the arrow. Well, the magical sword is in a room with an overworld room here with an arrow in it. And in the first quest, this arrow, we didn't really view it because there was no need to go to the overworld room. that houses it, but it basically points to where level 9 is. And I guess theoretically it can also point to where level 9 is in this quest too, because it's just a little further west in this quest. But luckily we have the ladder, so we can cross this river coming up here and get over to Death Mountain. We don't have to use the warp zone or the Lost Woods to get there. So, and we finally have enough bombs actually that we can bomb a few of these rocks to make sure that we get the medicine area. Here we go. 4 over, and it's a medicine woman. Which is good because we have level 8 to the right, so if we're in level 8 and we need to retreat to get medicine, there's one medicine right nearby. Avoid the rocks. And we head up here. So last time we were up here, we went to the left to get a heart container and to show off Spectacle Rock, but we never in either of the quests went over this way. But we're going this way because if we push the tip of the arrow, a staircase appears. And in this staircase, we have our magical sword. Master using it and you can have this. And we can, because we have 12 hearts. Remember the condition for the magical sword? 12 hearts. So let's blow our whistle. That'll take us to the entrance to level 3 in the first quest, which is very close to the entrance of level 4 in the first quest, which in this quest serves as the entrance to level 5. We can now finally get into level 5 because we have the raft. So that's definitely what we're gonna do. So, we want to make sure that we have the the arrow by this point because we're gonna fight a Goma enemy is gonna be present in this thing. We're gonna get the arrow. The Goma isn't the boss, so it's not necessary, but there is, if you want to get a key, we're gonna have to take out the Goma. So here we are, we're in the entrance to level 5, and this is what we're gonna pick up in our next episode. Take care, bye!